10 things to know before buying the 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee. The all-new generation of the Jeep Grand Cherokee is here, and it comes with many significant changes to the powertrain, interior, exterior, and features list, making it one of the most important launches of 2022. Available for a starting price of $38,720, the 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee comes with 13 trim configurations, which also include the coveted 4Z PHEV and the TrailHawk trims. Being a midsize SUV that could do hardcore Jeep stuff along with the duties of a family cruiser, the 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee ticks almost all the boxes for a capable SUV for the price. The performance is impressive, and the vehicle is pretty fuel efficient if you opt for the 4Z trim. The cabin is quite spacious and comes filled with features. The rugged exterior design stands out too. Competing with the Hyundai Palisade, Kia Telluride, and Honda Passport, here are 10 things you need to know before buying the 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee. 10. Punchy powertrain. The 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee can be had with 3 different powertrains depending on the trim you choose. The 3.6-liter naturally aspirated V6 motor, which produces a decent 293 horsepower and 257 pound-feet of torque, comes with the lower Laredo, altitude, and limited trims. This motor comes mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission and can be had in both 2WD and 4WD drivetrains. There is also a 5.7-liter naturally aspirated V8 motor offered with all the trims starting from TrailHawk. This motor is much more sprightly in terms of acceleration and can tow a maximum of 6,200 pounds, which is quite impressive for the segment. Producing 357 horsepower and 390 pound-feet of torque, this is the motor that you need to opt for if you want punchy performance from this midsize SUV. Apart from that, there is also a plug-in hybrid variant called 4Z, which offers 375 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. All of the trims can be had with 4WD as well. 9. Rugged exterior design. In comparison to the older generation of the Grand Cherokee, which sold in the United States till a few months back, this all-new 5th-generation moniker manages to look striking from all angles. The rugged nature of this midsize SUV coupled with minute attention to detail also helps the 2022 Grand Cherokee to stand out pretty well, even when compared to the ravishing rivals like the Kia Telluride and Hyundai Palisade. The front end has got the character of a bulky and handsome-looking SUV, which is highlighted by the 7-slot grille, chrome inserts, and a massive air dam. The immense height, ground clearance, and width also make it looks even more masculine, especially when compared to the family SUVs of the lot. The well-crafted 21 inches wheels, squared fender flares, and sharp character lines complete the side profile. The LED taillight, Jeep logo etched to the middle, and the dual exhaust system rounds off the rear silhouette very well. 8. Comes loaded with all the safety features. The 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee turned out to be a pretty impressive proposition if you value the safety of the passengers. The main reason is due to the long list of safety and driver assistance features that come as standard even with the lowest Laredo trim. The build quality is up there with the best of the lot, too. The standard driver assistance features include automated emergency braking with pedestrian detection, lane departure warning, lane keeping assist, adaptive cruise control, and many more. All the basic safety features are on board too. All of these help the car to get a 5-star overall crash safety rating in the NHTSA crash test. 7. Interior looks and feels top-notch. Even though the 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee managed to receive major changes to the exterior design, it is the cabin of the Grand Cherokee that made us awestruck. Available for sale at a base MSRP of $38,720, the cabin looks and quality could be easily compared to some of the luxury midsize SUVs. The cabin also comes filled to the brim with premium leather and soft plastics, both of which uplift the cabin experience. The dashboard and door cards feel very plush, and you cannot spot any uneven panel gaps or fitment issues anywhere, unlike the American rivals like Chevrolet Blazer and Ford Edge. If you opt for the right trim, the leather upholstery comes as standard too, which is easily the softest leather we could find at this price point. The panoramic sunroof and ambient lighting are offered too. 6. Mediocre fuel efficiency. If you expect the 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee to be very frugal, you would be pretty disappointed. When equipped with the base V6 motor with the 2WD drivetrain, This SUV managed to churn out 19 mpg in the city and 26 mpg on the highway. If you opt for the 4WD variant, the gas mileage sees a dip by 1 mpg for both city and highway. Jeep Grand Cherokee L Limited Black Package wheels via Stellantis. However, get the model equipped with the 5.7-liter V8 motor, and the gas mileage sees an even further dip, with 14 mpg in the city and 22 mpg on the highway. The 23-gallon fuel tank capacity turned out to be the best of the segment, and hence the tank range is superb too. If you want the best fuel efficiency, the 4Z trim is the only option. This trim gave out 56 mpg of combined gas mileage. 5. Spacious cabin. Being offered in both 5-seater and 7-seater configurations, the 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee turned out to be one of the most versatile options of the segment. Get into the front seat, and you would be pretty impressed with the wide shoulder room and the supportive armrests on offer. There are multiple cubbyholes and storage spaces on offer too. The seats are well padded and offer excellent under-thigh and lower back support. They have heating, ventilation, and cooling support too. The headroom and legroom turned out to be superb as well. Even the second row and third row passengers will have nothing major to complain about, even though the third row felt a bit mediocre when it comes to the under-thigh support. The cargo space of 37.7 cubic feet is superb too. 4. Infotainment is among the best. The 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee can be had with 2 infotainment systems, an 8.4 unit and a 10.1 unit. Both of them are touchscreen systems that can also be controlled with the help of buttons and knobs stuck onto the center console and steering wheel. They are probably the best of the segment in terms of user interface and display quality. Coming with a long list of standard features including Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, navigation, digital gauge cluster, and many more, the 2022 Grand Cherokee easily demolishes the rivals like the Palisade and Telluride in terms of features on offer. A 10 inches head-up display and a 10.3 display embedded in the dashboard also come with the higher trim configurations. 3 different audio systems are offered too, all of which turned out to be top-notch in terms of audio quality. 3. Braking performance is decent. Being a heavy midsize SUV that comes with a curb weight of 4,238 pounds, the 2022 Grand Cherokee needs beefy braking hardware to anchor it down when driven at highway speeds. Thankfully, Jeep has provided what it needs, making it on par with the rivals like the Ford Edge, Hyundai Palisade, and Chevrolet Blazer, in terms of braking performance. The 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee managed to do the 70 to 0 miles per hour braking in about 175 feet, which is similar to the rivals. We found the brakes to offer a great feel for an SUV, and the car doesn't fishtail under hard braking. The initial bite and braking progression were decent too. However, the front-end dive was on the higher side. 2. Driving experience is a mixed bag. The Jeep Grand Cherokee has never been a driver's car, and this 2022 iteration retains the same ethos. Even though it is not going to be a dangerous proposition while taking corners, the lack of feel from the steering wheel coupled with the high understeer at the limits means that it is better to drive sanely through the winding roads. Take the corners a bit enthusiastically, and the car does feel pretty top-heavy, even though the body roll is well under control. The understeer is pretty severe due to the heavy front end, and even the 4WD monikers exhibited the same behavior. Even if you opt for the higher trims that come with the air suspension system, the driving dynamics are a bit disappointing. 1. Plush ride quality is retained. Though the 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee is far from a fun-to-drive SUV, it does manage to put a smile on our face while munching miles, irrespective of the road condition. When equipped with the air suspension setup, dial the car to comfort mode and the car completely irons out everything that is thrown by the pothole-infested city streets. The car also rides flat while on the highways, making it easily one of the most sorted SUVs to tackle the highways. We were also quite surprised with how well the ride turned out to be when it comes to the off-roads. Even when equipped with the regular coil spring suspension, the ride remains pretty pliant throughout the journey.